lined up, and away they go then for this 49th running of the Juddmonte International over this extended mile and a quarter. Gayarth away to a good start. Rose of Kildare is almost dwarfed by the horse on the inside, is racing in second, and already these two have opened up a little bit, about 2 to 3 lengths clear of the mare Magical, who's just ahead of Lord North, and looking on from the back is Kamiko, the 2,000 guineas hero, in the hands of Oisin Murphy as they race on past the mile start over on the far side. So Gayarth then being held together here by William Buick, strides out in front at the head of the Juddmonte field and leads by about 3 lengths to Rose of Kildare, who's just ahead of Magical in second and third. Lord North, the Prince of Wales' stakes winner, is covered up by James Doyle in fourth, and locked away on the inside, Kamiko in the hands of Oisin Murphy, and already they're racing down the side of the Knavesmire now and beginning to approach the final 5.5 furlongs of the race. About halfway then in this splendid contest, and Gayarth striding out in front as he does with some purpose, and leads Magical in towards the home straight now. She goes into second ahead of Rose of Kildare. Kamiko sneaking up the inside of Lord North. These two sitting chilly at the back of the field then as they come down the Knavesmire here inside the final 3.5 furlongs, and Gayarth striding out with some purpose in front, leads by 3. Magical is flat out. Lord North now emerging and cruising through on the bridle to try and challenge here. Up the inside then is Kamiko. Gayarth still the lead, but it's just being whittled back a little bit now as the others try to close on the inside. What has Will Buick got left? Now he gets to work on Gayarth as Kamiko moves up into second place on the inside. Magical next then with Lord North and Rose of Kildare. Gayarth passes the furlong marker, still too clear. Magical battling as ever in second place, but Gayarth has not seen another rival, and he's going to see them all off here in the Juddmonte. He's relentless. Gayarth completes a great Group 1 hat-trick and wins the Juddmonte from Magical. Lord North in third and Kamiko next.
Gayarth has just won the Juddmonte International Group 1, and William Buick again was the man on board. Many congratulations. That was a fine performance. From your perspective, talk me through it.
Yeah, I mean, it was pretty, you know, his usual race for him really. He just takes a couple of strides to get into his stride, and you know, I just let him get into his own rhythm really, where he's comfortable. Then, you know, after half a furlong or a furlong, then, you know, he was at the head of affairs, and you know, I was always very comfortable. I haven't watched the replay yet, but you know what I could feel from him, he just felt like he's you know, like when he's himself.
And apart from those early stages, did you actually see another rival after that?
No, no, I didn't, and I'm pleased I didn't. But I think that's you know, he likes to race up at the front like that, but at the same time, that's not meaning to say that he's one-dimensional, you know. The only thing is there's not many horses that can go over that trip that can go his pace.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, Rose of Kildare tried to in the early stages, but, you know, even a much better horse than her maybe wouldn't be able to.
Yeah, I think he just has a much higher cruising speed than a horse that normally runs over that trip, you know. I think you would probably have to get a miler, run over a mile and a quarter, or even sharper, you know. He's got a hell of a cruising speed, and he sustains it, and he picks up from it. I think he's able to do things that very few horses can, and certainly no horse I've ever ridden can.
Yeah, where would you rank him in terms of horses that you've ridden?
He's right at the top.
Right at the top.
Right at the top. Obviously, you don't want to compare horses really, because you know sometimes they run over different trips and age groups and stuff like that. But he's certainly middle distance horse. He's right at the top. And
you and I were idly chatting about, is he the best turf horse in the world? Yeah. We think he is, don't we?
Yeah, I thought before the race he was. I briefly, I think I saw the ratings a couple of weeks back, and I think he was up there anyway, if not at the top of the ratings list. But I mean, he's, you know, in the Coronation, it was a good Coronation Cup at Newmarket when he won there. Then obviously in the Eclipse he beat Renewal, although it was her first start of the year, of course. And I thought this was a very good Juddmonte. You know, it was, you know, Magical is a very good filly. She's got some high class form in the book, and Lord North, the Prince of Wales winner. So, you know, obviously Kamiko a Guineas winner. So it was a proper race.
And what's allowed him to string this top flight form together? Because that's what he struggled with previously.
Yeah, I think he's probably managing himself better, you know, as a horse, sort of pre-race and stuff like that. And he, you know, I think he comes out of his races a little bit better. And ultimately, I suppose he, you know, until this season, he was very lightly raced. So I think he's kind of, the more racing he's gotten, the more he's learned, and he's learned how to manage himself. And I also think he's got better with it.
And what now? Unfinished business in the Arc?
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, obviously His Highness Sheikh Mohammed and Charlie will speak, and they'll make a plan for the horse. But you know, I presume that would certainly be one eye on the Arc. The only thing is with races at that time of the year, you know, you run the risk of running the bad ground like we did last year.
Yeah.
So, and which he wouldn't want.
And could America be an option?
I'm sure it would. I'm sure all those mile and a quarter, mile and a half races, you know, whether it be Champion Stakes, Arc de Triomphe or Breeders' Cup Turf, I'm sure they'll all be on the radar.
Okay, well, many congratulations. That was a superb performance. Well done,
Thank you
William.
very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Gayarth is unbeaten this season. He's now added this Group 1 to his haul so far, and Charlie Appleby is his trainer. Fantastic performance in the International here. Talk me through your feelings from your perspective about how that race panned out.
Look, it was perfect visually watching it, and you know, one thing we've learnt with this horse, and William more for his sake than anything, that he's more manageable for his races. You know, as a 3 and 4 year old, he wasn't aggressive. He was just a very enthusiastic runner, shall we say. So it was always hard or challenging for William, should I say, to try and, you know, contain that energy and use it the right way around. Where, you know, this year, it's, you know, after Dubai was fresh and he just wanted to get on with it, so that's fine. But no worries there. But from the coronation onwards, Williams just said how much more manageable he is this year, and so you know, today out on the front end there, you know, Gayarth allowed William to dictate the fractions that he felt was right for the track, because we all know each track is different, and William got it spot on again today.
And so, is that the difference in the horse at the age of 5, the mentality to go with his athletic ability?
For sure, because firstly, it gives us the results that we've seen today, and from William's point of view, he's, you know, a manageable horse, and he can, like I say, ride him to each individual track. But secondly, post-race, we see a different horse, because he's, you know, not doing it, you know, the hard way, and it's lovely to see these big winning margins like we saw in Germany, but it takes its toll.
Yes.
And you know, this year it's been certainly noticeable that post-race we've been dealing with a different horse, you know, like I said, mature horse at the end of the day.
And that's allowed him to string those wins and runs together. You've been able to run him more quickly than you had been previously. That's
right. I mean, the plan, it's not very often it comes off, but the plan right from the get-go this year was, you know, we'd aim for the coronation, and we would purposely miss the Prince of Wales, like I say, giving him that break and eclipse and onto here. And thankfully, he's hit every target. As we know, it can be challenging sometimes, and but he's not let us down at all.
And what now? Is the plan the Arc?
For those lovely discussions I can hopefully have with His Highness Sheikh Mohammed, who's watched today and is delighted to have a horse like this. He's followed him right through from his 2-year-old career, so it gives everybody great excitement to watch and obviously get the results that we're seeing now. So it's always been in our mind. You know, obviously we ran him in the Arc last year, as we felt he was an Arc contender, and I think on what we've seen again today, and what we saw probably more importantly for an Arc's point of view, what we saw in the coronation.
Yeah.
You know, he's, you know, mile and a half to mile and a quarter, he seems to have got it all in his bag at the moment.
And ground-wise? I mean, it can go soft as it did last year.
No, I think last year's Arc, I think everyone will agree that it was very soft ground. We were drawn out where we were, and we purposely wanted to get on the front end because we felt that was his style, and we again didn't want to change it. And I think we'll all hold our hands up and say it was the wrong decision, and you know, he was doing far too much on the front end, and therefore never finished the race off at all. Would you put that down to ground? Would you put it down to probably the fractions all being far too strong? I would probably go with the latter and say his fractions are too strong. He's got form on soft ground, but you can't argue he's got a lot of Group 1 form now on a sound surface, but hopefully we can say he's versatile.
Would you be tempted by America as well?
We always felt that the mile and a half there on the 2 turns would be his gig, but
I can see him loving that.
Yeah, exactly. But as we're all in the same position in this year, unprecedented year. We don't know where we will be able to travel or not. So I think it's a matter of firstly appreciating today and enjoying it all, and getting the horse home and making sure he's fit and well, and then we can start to map out where we might be able to try and get to.
It is understandable, one race at a time very much this year. A couple of larger questions about this horse. Is he the best turf horse in the world right now?
I will say yes. Officially on ratings he is as well.
Yeah.
So
I think it's just underlined it in red, hasn't he?
Yes, that's right. You know, he's it was built to be it's a small field, but a very you know, it's a stellar lineup, and you know, you've got some classic winners and multiple Group 1 winners in there. So you know, I felt that the race itself has proved that hopefully we can feel he's the best mile-and-a-half turf horse in the world.
And a bigger
Mile and a
question,
quarter even.
both.
Yeah.
A bigger question in many ways. Is he now a Godolphin great?
In my eyes, for sure. Since I've been thankfully training, but he's a horse, as I said, that he's been followed right through from his 2-year-old career by His Highness Sheikh Mohammed, and he's given a lot of pleasure to a lot of people, and I feel he deserves to be up there with the greatness for sure.
Yeah. And final question, which I hadn't actually thought of until just now. Any chance he stays in training as a 6-year-old next year? Because I mean, that's something that Sheikh Mohammed has done before with some of his very best horses.
No, that's right. And knowing how sporting, you know, His Highness is, I'm sure it would be probably, if I was going to say a percentage call, it would probably be hopefully yes. But again, they're just lovely conversations to have when you've got these nice horses, and I'm sure we'll spend plenty of time talking about where we're going and what we're going to be doing with him for the future.
Well, many congratulations, Charlie. Best turf horse in the world, one of the Godolphin greats with Gayarth, and you can look forward to many nice conversations with Sheikh Mohammed. Well done.
Thank you very much, Lily.
Thank you.